All right, Graeme, we're going, buddy.
Justin, how you doing, man?
All right, man. How are you?
It's been a minute.
When was the last time we were on? We were trying to figure this out.
It was the first time the studio was all set up like this. I think it was June, I want to say, but
I think it was.
Maybe May.
I know for a fact.
Leaving the summer, it was around golf time. I know you were going golfing then, so
I know for a fact
Yeah.
it was our first episode in here.
yeah. Which was it's just I was just saying before off camera how fantastic it is, and is there always something new every time you come in?
It's something new every time with the camera angles.
Yeah.
Like I still don't think the camera angles are right, and every day,
Oh.
every day we don't have a podcast. I'm like running around, like I'll sit there
Yeah,
for like 30 minutes while this camera's being worked on. Like
The quality's great. I've watched some of the
Yeah,
stuff coming up. So.
it's not bad. Like this camera's the best one, and then these two are subpar. But like that's something we're trying to work on too.
I've
is
told
get the
people
quality
about
up.
you guys. I told you guys are killing it. So.
Awesome, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
I'm a big fan.
It's a nice feeling knowing going into like I don't know, maybe like a business transaction or like a sales pitch, and they know about the company.
Yeah.
It's nice. Because before you're like, okay, well, what the hell's High Button Sports? That's what
Yeah.
they're saying, and now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I know a little bit about you. I heard about you guys, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and you
know
got
what I mean?
employees now. I look at you.
I know.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
It's really good to see. It's really good to see that happen locally.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that, man.
yeah. Especially with the lack of sports
Yeah.
over the last little
Yeah,
while.
it's
So
true.
you're making it through. So proud of you guys.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of stuff happening around here, and as you know, you're working your ass off, man. I see you
It's
out
just,
there.
it's
You're
all
grinding.
the time. Yeah, there's no shortage of news, so it's always go go go. You always get something different. And I think last week was actually pretty representative of that.
Yeah.
The stories I was getting last week, I actually did the tour of Scotiabank Center and how they were how it was gonna work. They were breaking up into zones. They were gonna have 200 fans per zones, things like that. How that was all gonna work. But the day before, they sent me to like interview Santa because Santa put out this announcement that it was very weird week. He said that Santa was having this. He's not going to be going to malls anymore, so he's going to be taking his business at home. So as soon as he mentioned that, his post went viral. Everyone's calling Santa in September. So I get sent to like Santa's workshop in Dartmouth. And I'm just like, this is how I die. This is random Santa. This is it. This is the end.
That's amazing.
You know, I had no idea that was going to happen. So I went out to Santa's workshop, had a great conversation with him. And it was a good story because, you know, what are the parents going to do for around when Christmas comes and the holidays and how it's going to work with COVID. And
that's amazing.
A great guy. We had a good
Great
chat,
guy.
yeah, and did a whole story on him. So it was that's representative of you never know what you're gonna get. The news cycle literally never stops. It's impacting parents. It's impacting Santa Claus. It's impacting everyone.
Dude, I'm so out of touch with what goes on in the real world. Every time I get in touch with what's happening, I just go to your Twitter.
Man,
it's like, what's going on? All right, let's go to
goal.
Graeme. All right, what's happening?
For sure. So I appreciate that because that's what I'm trying to like build it as.
Of
you
course.
You want to be that source for information. So.
I love messaging you and be like, all right, what's happening?
Yeah.
And you message back within a minute. I'm like, all right, we got the
happy to let
lowdown.
you know.
I love it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that Teddy video too. I saw that. So. When the
Teddy video.
Well, Hurricane Teddy.
Oh yeah.
Was like
that was hilarious.
That's kind of always been like a journalistic dream for me, is to be in like the middle of a hurricane and like reporting on it. It wasn't the hurricane, but it was fun.
My question was, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
what were you using? Like what camera?
That was my phone. That was literally
Is it waterproof? The case?
It was not. So I had. It was this phone. It was my personal phone I used on it, and that was probably like the second or third take because some of them. Like the winds hit you too hard, and you're like,
I was wondering. I was like, what is he using to film that? Because you get that in a rice bucket after.
Seriously, well, I took my work phone out first, and then that died immediately. So I was like, okay, I need to get something out on this. So I just pulled out my personal phone and just started shooting, and and that wasn't even like Hurricane Day. That was a Tuesday, so I was like, I kind of felt bad because I was hyping up the next day, and then it ended up being like a normal sunny day on Wednesday. So
I know, classic Nova Scotia weather.
Seriously, yeah.
But yeah, it's always sunny after a hurricane. Like the air is always nice.
Yeah,
it's always leaves on the ground, but it's always like nice fresh air. I remember after what was the last hurricane we had? The one where like the Dorian. Like the day after that, I remember the air was just beautiful. You walked outside and it was a great day.
Yeah. But like this was the day of. This was the hurricane.
Yeah, the day of. I know yours was the day.
Like the overnight Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it was completely fine. And I was with my colleague. We went back to Pages Cove on Wednesday morning.
Did you?
Like the winds were pretty bad there in the morning, but we weren't on the rocks or anything. Just want to make that clear because a lot of people are like, "What are you doing at Pages Cove?" And it's like, We're just doing what our bosses tell us to do. So
there were people on the rocks.
Oh yeah, we filmed them. We filmed them going on the rocks.
What are you doing?
And then we wait for them to come back, and that's what we ask them. We're like, what are you doing? Like, what? You know, you don't want to call people out like that, but they're willing to talk on camera and they're willing to say their piece. So,
and it's like those are the people that get the views because the people at home just judge them.
We're providing a platform for it, which isn't the best, but at the same time, you want to expose it, so it's a hard line to walk. So anyway, we saw it wasn't. I will say it wasn't a lot of people. A large majority was like a convoy of vehicles, just wanting to see the waves. Excuse me, which I understand. But there were a few odd ducks who would just walk up to the lighthouse and just like, don't do that. Yeah.
You see any like surfers in the water?
Not in Peggy's Cove.
No.
Like that's more like Lawrencetown. People go there for.
Yeah.
I wasn't at Lawrencetown during all of it, but I saw some video. People kind of riding the waves up there. Heron Cove Road area too. I think there's an area people go down along here.
Cool.
But yeah, not Peggy's Cove. It's
a little rough.
It's
a surfer's dream though. It must be a hurricane around here.
And that's what they wait for, right? Like that's what they're here to. Like that's their livelihood.
I worked with a guy and he's from Australia, a big surfer, and he's like the best surf season around here is like December, January,
which
February.
Which is wild to me.
So like, they're in the ocean with the wetsuits.
Yeah. That is the most unappealing thing to me, like personally.
And like apparently, like it's the best waves are like at 6 a.m. like in the middle of January.
Why?
And you're like, it's dark and you're surfing in Lawrencetown. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I could be wrong if the surfing community's listening, but that's what. Because I remember we used to have shifts at like how it worked at the concierge, the hotel. We'd have shifts at 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. So that'd be like the changeover, 3 p.m. And every time he had to work at 7 a.m., he was pissed because he wanted to be up surfing at 7 a.m. You know what I mean? So he loved the 3 p.m. shift because in the morning he's just surfing.
Yeah, that would never run through my head. Like, I got to get up at 7 a.m. to surf in December.
Get the wetsuit on.
Yeah. And I've seen people. It's just reminding me of those polar dips that happen around. At the beginning, again, most unappealing thing to me.
I love the polar bear dip.
I do not understand. I've never done it.
Never
I've covered it, and I'm just like I'm freezing with my camera, covering all these maniacs running into the water.
I love the cold. I've gotten used to it. Surfing, maybe no, because I suck at it. But the cold. I'm coming around to it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been jumping out in the harbor, out in the not harbor.
I saw that. That's right.
Yeah, you know that's the actual wharf that they jump off of for.
Right. It's just down the road from here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes up the road.
Yeah, it's not that far.
And like, it gets hot in this house in the summer, and we don't have air conditioning yet, so I'll just jump in the car. I'll go down to the wharf and just jump in. I'll chill there for like a minute.
Wow.
People look at me like I'm a crazy person,
you are.
but it's amazing. I love it.
That's why they look at you.
Some guy came up to me the other day. He's like, they found a couple sharks off here, like the coast of Nova Scotia, like a week ago. You sure? I'm like, yeah, it's all right, man.
It's just multiple craziness elements. So
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, man. To each their own.
You should do it. You should cover the polar bear dip this year.
I love covering it.
Do you?
I love covering it, but it's not one of those like the reporter goes and does it. I'm very happy just with my.
You got your coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Your
thermos and.
I'll do it this year. You should interview me out there.
100%. Let's do it. That's a great idea.
Let's do
it. I'll ask for the New Year's Day shift.
I've never done the polar bear dip, but I'll go into the water in January, December, anywhere.
Yeah, I covered one. These three young guys in Hammond's Plains area who were just raising money for mental health and did one every single day.
Wasn't it the Mayo Bros?
Yeah. It was these three guys. They're friends of friends, become friends now.
Yeah.
And they put it together and. Really good initiative. I think it was for Phoenix House, I believe.
Okay.
I haven't don't recall, but yeah, they raised a bunch of money for it, and they do these big dips together. They were doing individual ones and filming them.
Yeah.
And they do like a big one at the end of January.
Yeah.
And I covered that I think 2 years ago, and it was just. I was freezing. I was like, "How are you guys doing this? This is wild."
Have you seen the Mayo Bros? Their Instagram page, like they jump into the water?
I think those were different guys.
Different guys.
I have seen them, but I think I have seen that for sure. I haven't met them yet, though.
Man, there's people out there that make a living off going in cold water. It's because, like, there's people out there have the exact same reaction of you going into the cold water. There's like what you're absolutely insane, but people are so fascinated by it that they'll watch it. There's a guy, his name's Wim Hof. He's from Europe.
Okay.
And he has like let's call it like a camp. And he'll bring in 20 people for a weekend, charge them $1,500. I don't know if it's $1,500, and they'll come stay with him at this retreat, and it's cold water therapy. And he's up in Finland, and they go into the water for 15 minutes at a time, freezing, and then they'll jump into a sauna, and then right out of the sauna go into the hot tub, and then they'll eat like an amazing meal, and it's like a spiritual experience, and then you'll do that the next day.
Is that healthy?
I have no idea. He says it's a breathing technique.
Change in temperature.
I have no idea, but he swears by it. But here's the thing: even if it doesn't, I don't
want to be skeptical, but
even if it doesn't work, even if you do get hypothermia from it, he makes money off it, I think. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's great for health benefits and things like that, but people are so drawn to it.
Based on the curiosity.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
He's getting millions of views on his platforms
Totally.
because there's people jumping into a bucket of ice in the middle of January. Like, who does that? Because you think it's a crazy person.
And
but, it's almost like a...
Like, for me, take my click, I'll watch that.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
I want to watch it. I don't want to do it.
But times that by 1 million people, and you're making money.
So it's
there's tons of people out there like that.
That's interesting.
It is cool, isn't it?
I guess we're coming into that season, so we got to start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those Mayo guys, the same thing. I'm watching that out of he's in the water in December and a ladder's in there. I'm watching that.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't even know how we got to that point. I think we
I don't even know.
But, hey, still, like I said, it's I think we were talking a little bit about Teddy and being in those environments and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, it's that was a fun experience. I've never covered the hurricane like that before. So it was kind of checked it off the journalist list for me.
Hurricane Juan's probably you're probably too young. But
I was a bit too young,
obviously.
I remember it. I lived here and we were out of power for a long time, and White Juan was right after. So I remember that growing up. But
that's a journalist dream.
That's a journalist. That's a little too much for me. That got really bad.
No power to charge the cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to there's a balance for it. I was working Dorian last year when that was going on, but I wasn't. I was kind of more online and sitting in the studio and kind of sending reporters to the craziness. So,
there were some crazy videos coming from that.
Some crazy
obviously
stuff,
the crane, but
even still, I was working and I noticed all these power lines that were down. I think it was in the West End, just off Quinpool.
Yeah,
and it looked apocalyptic. It you just saw these wires sparking in the middle of the road, just dangling down. So I think that's what we were kind of preparing for in a way with Teddy, but it just didn't come through that way.
I know someone that had a wedding. Not someone. I had a friend of a friend who had a wedding during Dorian.
They still had it?
Yeah, they still had it. They still went through with it. Good. The power went out at the hotel. But
I remember seeing a photo of a couple in their wedding dresses, or
might have been
not
them.
both of them, but a couple getting married, and the photos after that. So might have been them, but it might have been a different one.
Nonetheless, talk about bad luck.
But that's kind of where we've been at right now. We were saying, something different.
Yeah.
Something different every day. So
yeah. So what do you do today? Today's your off day?
Today's an off day, yeah. So we kind of do 7-day. We'll do Monday to Friday generally, but if you have to work the weekend, you'll do a 7-day stretch. You'll do Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
And then you get Monday, Tuesday off. Your next week will be a 3-day week, Wednesday to Friday. So so now I just worked the past weekend. So got today and tomorrow off. Have to work. I took Friday off for the long weekend, so I only have to.
It's a long weekend this weekend?
Yeah, Thanksgiving one's coming up. So.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, so I took the Friday up to Monday.
Mark's shaking his head. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm getting my day off.
Yeah.
I know.
The Monday's the stat, so the Friday's
okay,
not.
Nice.
So, so I got a nice little 2-day week coming up. So it's not you get through the 7-day stretch and then.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Did you go to the Musa game this week?
I did not. No. Like I said, I covered the at the Scotiabank Center, kind of what was happening with it, but I didn't end up going. I missed it. So.
The photos were eerie. Not eerie. We were just
No, I know. Not a lot of people. I think they're fitting 2,500 people. Is it?
I don't know.
Is that what it is? I believe it's around 2,500 is what they're trying to space it out to. And like I said, they broke it up all into zones now. So you have to use the concession stands. You have to use the bathrooms in your zone.
Oh, really?
You're not allowed. You have to enter through the building in a certain area. It'll say in your ticket what zone you are, and then you have to enter through the build. It'll tell you what part of the building to enter through. So
if you want nachos and nachos aren't in your section,
you're not getting nachos. I guess you're out of luck, man. Bring your own BYON. Bring your own nachos.
There's things I go to the Scotiabank Arena for other than hockey, and one of them are the nachos.
Yeah. You're really upset about the nachos.
Well, I like the nachos.
Yeah, no,
there.
I see it.
They're good.
Yeah, no, I guess you got to deal with a hot dog, man. I'm so sorry.
Hot dogs are pretty good too.
They got
good food. It's pricey, but it's good.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
No, I love it too.
Anyway.
I gravitate towards the hot dogs myself. So popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you play for the Dartmouth Dry? What do you have the hat on
No,
for?
yeah, my friend does. So it's always got to support the team. So,
Dudes does, yeah.
Dudes does.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
My friend Liam Logan does as well. He's
Liam. I know Liam. We worked at the hotel together.
So he just like gives me some of their gear. And
right on.
Yeah, I thought Dudes might be here, but he's not. So.
Oh, that's why you wore it?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. He'll be listening to this.
Put a smile on his face.
That's
right?
funny.
So, anyway, hopefully it worked.
Man, that's one thing. I know baseball didn't come back this year. I know. What did Dudes play? Fast pitch?
Yeah,
Is that what it was? Fast pitch?
Yeah.
But baseball was a no-go this year.
Yeah. He's second base, right? Yeah.
Second base or shortstop. I should know that.
One of them. Yeah.
Nonetheless,
he'll tell us.
That's the thing. Like, there's so many sports around here to like cover, and not that like Dartmouth Dry doesn't get coverage, but like that's part of like the business plan going forward. It's like, okay, how is Dartmouth Dry not being live streamed right now? How is that not being a little bit covered?
Yeah. Because I mean, it's another competitive league. Again, I'm guilty of it myself too. I remember we did cover it. They had that like ridiculous stretch 2 years ago where they went like undefeated.
Yeah.
And I was doing my best to cover that as much as I thought that was pretty spectacular. But it really did. It does fizzle off, and for us, kind of in the mainstream, it's hard to maintain that kind of consistent coverage.
Well, that's our problem,
right? Yeah.
But
same for you guys too.
But like one thing we're trying to work with is there's so many kids, not kids, but like guys that go to like King's College or Dal or SMU, and like we'll get an email saying, hey, like I'd love to work with you. Here's a resume, and then it's like, okay, great, we have the demand to work here, but I don't have anywhere for them to go and anything for them to do.
Yeah.
So it's like that's one thing we're trying to work on is get the manpower and then put them somewhere.
And that's why I was going back to just why it's so impressive on how you've been able to get it to where it's at without sports.
Yeah.
Sports podcast without sports. It's
I know.
You know?
Well,
it's coming back now, though. Like it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to talk about leading up, especially with lacrosse. You see that's coming, should be coming back.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, I mean, like we're getting all these press releases from lacrosse, and they're planning on starting in December as everyone else is. So.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, there's still going to be stuff. There's still going to be stuff to talk about. So.
Yeah. As long as there's stuff to talk about, stuff to do, stuff to go see.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Totally.
Keeps the conversation going.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the podcast. Like I said, you don't play sports. I still love having you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Being here, yeah.
Who did we have on the other day? Afy from the Bahamas. You know the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Oh man, just a great guy. Like
I missed that one.
He was on the last one, episode 290.
Okay. Yeah.
Just down to earth guy. He featured at the Halifax Jazz Fest last year.
Cool.
It's like 5,000 people there. He lives here in Halifax. Didn't even know.
Yeah. Well, people are interested in a lot of different things outside of sports, so it's
good,
you know.
And like it always wraps up back into sports. What did he talk about? He brought up like longevity in sports compared to music. He's like, if you throw a football at 22, you're definitely not going to be able to throw the same distance when you're 45. But if you're playing music, you can play the guitar at 25. You're going to be a little bit better at 45. You know, everything kind of relates back to sports. You can kind of have a conversation based around sports.
Yeah, and a lot of the phrases you hear are kind of sports related, like miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And that stuff
like
too.
That,
yeah, exactly.
It always relates back to it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So happy for you guys.
So what's going on at Global, man? I heard. Are you allowed to talk about what you told me right before this? You got the little. You don't have to if you don't want to.
No. I've kind of started a new position.
Okay, congrats.
Semi new position. I mean, my good friend Jeremy Keefe, he recently moved to Calgary, so we've kind of had a vacancy. They haven't officially filled the position, but you fill in where you can. So
nice.
Back in July, I started filling in kind of more of the on-camera side and kind of doing your own shooting. Coming back, writing your own story, and then after that, you edit it all together, so you do the whole thing together. Yeah. Previously, my position was more related to online, strictly on more of the breaking news side and getting news out quickly. Yeah. Now it's more on like going out to the community, talking to people, focusing on one story for that day, rather than like the news cycle and getting everything out all at once. So, which personally, I like this a little better. It's a little more personal. You get to make connections with people in the community, talk to a wide variety of people. Rather than making the phone calls online or like from the office, actually going out and having the camera and talking to people. Like I find it tells the story a little bit more effectively, and you get those. Like I think a perfect example was yesterday. I went to this Syrian This Syrian refugee businesses along the Bedford Highway got robbed.
Saw this,
and and I just drove up to get some shots of the outside of the building. They brought me in. They gave me all this food. Like it was just they get robbed, and they're just the friendliest people after that. And like, you never would have that experience just kind of in the office. So they're just your heart goes out to them because it's just so heartbreaking for them.
I saw the story. You did a great job on it.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's nice to be able to tell their side of it, and just, the guy said it himself. He said, I don't have an enemy. I don't know why anyone would do this to me. Stole all this food, all this cash, just ransacked it. They were saying they just spent time in there for like an hour, just like having a pop. It's just like,
did they get it on camera?
I don't think so. So police are on it. Hopefully they get the bastards who did it, because, when you actually meet those people, like you leave work that day.
I've been in both of them before.
The ice cream was amazing.
Yeah, and the people that work there are amazing. Like sometimes love their kids working, and they're just hardworking kids.
They're just hard work. It's a hardworking family. It's just trying to make $1 and trying to make a life here. So, I don't know. I think going back to what I was saying before, that you meet people like that, and it really gives you more appreciation for the community, the position, things like that.
Oh my God, I haven't experienced anything like this in my entire life with the community, with this podcast. Just I've met you like 2 years ago, but having you on a couple times, you're a great person. But the list goes on and on and on and on about the people that are from around here. I know you can beat the stick wherever you're from. It doesn't matter, but there's something about talking to people in long form that are in your community that I just love, that I didn't do before. It would just be a passing at a Moosehead game. Hey, how you doing? How's work? Bada boom. 5 minutes. Next thing, I'm at my seat drinking my beer. But being able to sit down and talk to people and ask about how work's going, ask about how family's going, ask about how whatever your career is going. I just love it. It's a really eye-opening thing, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
And positions like what we have just allow us that platform to do that, to talk to those people, to tell those stories, which is why I completely love the industry, because it just provides you with that opportunity to do that. And that's why I love it.
Yeah. Well said. It's rewarding in a sense. That isn't. Don't get me wrong. The money obviously is very rewarding, but there's other rewards within the company or within the business that I just.
It's just, and you meet people that are generally outside of your circle. Generally, when you have those conversations, it's people that you either grew up with, or that you became friends with in school, or that you've met through friends. You're talking to people that you would never talk to on a normal day.
Huge reward.
Like I would never be talking to like that kind of that Syrian refugee family in that context without having a position like this. So, and then just seeing that true, genuine generosity come out of someone, it's pretty beautiful.
It's great. I don't even. I started this company for so many reasons, but then you look for little seeds within the reasons, and it's kind of, you don't realize it at the time, but as I go through it, it's like, no, I did want to talk to cool people. I did want to figure out these things. I did, want to have these stories on the podcast. But you don't think about that as you start. When you start, you just think about, okay, I want to do it just to, I don't know, make money. I want to do it just to have cool mics, have cool cameras. And then you do it, and you're like, no, I'm doing this for completely different reasons. But I didn't even realize that at the time. I had no idea. Idea.
I started journalism thinking I wanted to be the sportscaster in Toronto and be on TSN every day. And then instantly that changed right away for me. Because you realize you're not getting to tell the stories that you want to. And then, I was like, okay, I just want to be on TV. That was the goal. And then you realize that the platform that allows you to tell those stories is through TV rather than, selfishly looking at it. So I've completely kind of changed the way I from when I started in the industry to now, just because the TV platform is how we tell the stories most effectively. If people can visually see it, you start doing your own camera work, you start learning how to edit and start to tell the ways differently through editing, which is something I've learned to appreciate over the last 3 months as well. Just using different sounds to tell stories, things like that. So, it's really crazy how your perception can change, and when you self-reflect, I find this provides an opportunity to do so. It's just
it does for me too. Well, that's another question I have for you, I guess, is you're about to be in a position that you want to be in on TV, going back to the studio, editing. Is there another platform that you even look forward towards? Is there something else that you look forward to that you want to be in maybe 10 years?
Well, right now I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. I have noticed, if you look at outside the bubble and you look at other avenues, and I don't want to go.
No?
This is the safest place in the world right now.
Yeah, it is.
This is honestly why would I? So I think maybe down the road I'd want to tell the stories on more of a larger platform than maybe just the Atlantic provinces.
Okay.
But, for now, I'm really happy just kind of meeting Nova Scotians and telling their stories, and also at the same time providing the daily news that people need at a time like this during a pandemic. So, No desires right now. Really, just kind of, as they say, living the dream. So
absolutely, man, you're killing it.
It's always fun. It's always something different. So
I love working towards something, like you said, like you're in your position you want to be in. The position's not finalized, but hopefully it is soon.
Yeah.
I love in these situations getting better at that position. So for example, right now.
Yes.
We're starting this whole live stream thing. Me and Mark did it the other day. We were god awful, terrible. We're getting phone calls from parents and saying, hey, the audio's not working. Hey, the stream's not good. So right now it's almost a challenge within myself or within the business to get better. So as soon as this podcast is done, we're going to edit, but then we're going to start working on, okay, how do we up the quality of the live stream? And that's going to challenge me. After that, okay, how are we going to do this better? So it's not like the position has to get better. You just have to get better within the position, I find. Even this podcast, like I'm this conversation's going well, but as soon as you're gone, I'm going to listen back to this and be like, I could have done a little bit better on this question. I could have listened to that and paid attention a little bit more. So that's always kind of what keeps me going, is getting better at the position rather than moving up and being less skilled. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. What keeps you going? Look back at your old podcast.
Oh,
look back
cringe.
At the stuff
I can't.
You need to.
I know.
You need to watch the stuff that you used to do and be like, okay, this is where I was with this mindset. You think of, and because when you're doing it, then you think that you're killing it, and then you watch it back and you see what you have now, and you realize, okay, I've definitely you can see that improvement.
Yeah.
I've done that with like stories I did in July compared to now. You're like, okay, I would tell this story completely different now just from practicing, from doing it every day. It's beneficial to suck it up and watch that stuff.
But like how much calmer are you now that if you maybe make a mistake, you don't panic in your head?
Yeah, because
you go.
It's a very high pressure time wise position. The newscast is 6 o'clock every day. Yeah. So you got to get it done for 6 every day. So for example, on Saturday, I was in North Preston for a Black Lives Matter protest, and this protest started at 2 o'clock. And for a news cycle, when things start at 2 o'clock, that's pretty tight to get something for 6. Started late, ended like I kind of had to leave a little bit halfway through it, which isn't ideal, but I totally let them know that like my position on why I need to head out. Left around 3:45, got back to the station for 4:15. Before getting back to the station at 4:15 and putting together a story in an hour and 45 minutes, could not have done it. But you just kind of like, what you got to do. You put your head down. You learn to prepare yourself prior to it. So in the morning, you pre-write a little bit of it. So
I love that.
Yeah. So it's a learning process for sure.
That's progress right there.
It's definitely progress.
That's progress.
But like I was saying, I would not have been able to. Yeah. I would have crumbled and been like, I can't get it to air. We'll have to get it for the late show or something, and just go that way. But it's
cool how much more you're able to get a lot more work done. But it's also the quality of the work is still the same. It's still a high quality of work. Before you came today, getting ready and set up for this podcast took me 20 minutes, but a year ago probably would have taken me 45 minutes, making sure audios are right, making sure videos right, making sure everything's right, writing my questions down. But now
you don't have a list or anything. You're just flowing.
Oh, yeah. But that's the process that I love within what we have right now. Yeah. There's so many things to work on. Like when people say, "Oh, I'm bored right now within my job," it's fine. Maybe you are. Yeah. But there's so many little battles within a career or within a job, within whatever you're doing in life that you can get better at. There's a part of me, oddly enough, I think about this to myself sometimes. I kind of want to just go in for a random job interview.
Yeah.
I want to go to Subway. Like I know it's weird. I know it's weird.
I love it. No.
But like I used to have jobs when I was younger. Yeah. And I'd go in, and I wouldn't like it. I'd sit there. I just wouldn't. I'd have a good attitude, whatever. But I wouldn't really try. I'd just go in and go through the motion.
For sure.
Say, all right, guys, see you later. See you tomorrow. And since starting this company, my mind has changed 100% in every aspect of, I guess, hard work. But I know hard work only comes from passion.
Right.
But I just feel like even if I did go into Subway right now, like I would just.
I love that.
Like I just feel like I could take over a manager position within a week. Well, and in my head, I oddly just kind of want to do it just to see what happens.
Well, in that job interview context, this is the first time someone's seen you, so you get a initial perception of how people who've never met you before perceive you without knowing anything about you.
Yeah.
So like, there's definitely a benefit to that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's interesting. You could be the local sandwich artist.
I don't mind doing it.
You could fall into a trap. You're like, dang it, I got the job. I gotta do it.
Yeah, I know. I can't do the podcast today.
Slinging footlongs left, right, and center.
There's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David becomes a car salesman. He gets roped into it. Yeah. It's like someone told him he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you don't think I can sell a car? I'll go sell a car. And he's working at the car dealership trying to sell cars to
prove
people.
a point. Yeah.
He'd prove a point, exactly. I want to do it.
That'll be you as a sandwich artist.
Yeah, I can make a hell of a sandwich, man.
Yeah. That was my job growing up. I was a Subway guy.
No, you worked at Subway?
For 3 years. At the Scotiabank Center. Well, Metro Center.
Did you?
Yeah, I worked when Nathan McKinnon was on the Mooseheads. It was my university job.
No way.
You mentioned Subway like that. Yeah.
What's it like working at Subway?
It was fine. I had sandwich artist on my resume for a little too long. I was like, okay, I think I need to strap that. We can move on. So, but I worked in it down at the marina down on Peggy Stove Road, working at that one.
Did you?
Yeah. I worked a little bit St. Martin's Bay Road one.
That's
once
funny.
they get a sandwich artist in there, they'll spread you around different sandwich shops. So
that's awesome.
I don't miss it. It was a good job at the time. It was what it was.
I love sandwiches, man.
Yeah, it kind of killed the cookies for me. Because you had so many. It was my high school job too, so you'd have so many of the cookies that they would just lose their appeal completely. I don't even love them now because at the time Subway cookies were like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so soft. They were great.
Yeah, but kind of lost its magic for me.
That's the thing about working within those jobs. If you work at McDonald's, apparently McDonald's is disgusting by the time you're done the job.
Yeah. Because that's your food you get. They give you a free 6-inch sub and
I was in the hotel industry, and going to a hotel now, it's not as enjoyable to me because I know what happens behind the scenes. Yeah. Not that it's anything bad happens, but there's a special.
Once you're in it,
you're like, I know what's going on in that behind these walls.
Totally. So. Anyway, not trying to bash Subway here on this podcast.
Oh man, I love Subway.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
Did you see?
I'm not trying to start a lawsuit or anything.
Did you see what happened about their bread? Finland declared it wasn't bread.
No.
Their health and safety. What? Ireland declared. The Supreme Court of Ireland declared.
That is a news story I missed.
That Subway bread wasn't actually bread.
Really? That's a scoop. That's
get on it.
Yeah, seriously.
Graham's in Finland or Ireland after
investigating local subways. I'm not going to do that. I'm kidding.
Just get the bread, take it home to scientists.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So what's up?
Yeah, what else is going on today for you? We
got to figure out the live streaming thing, man. We got to figure out the scheduling. Like I told you, we did it for the first time the other day, and when I started the company, I didn't have a phone. Because I was broke, and we used to put dudes' phone number on the Facebook site or the Facebook Instagram and all that stuff, and I forgot I have a phone now, but I forgot to change it. So the other day we're live streaming at the rink, and it wasn't that good. So there's dudes is at home 10 o'clock at night, in bed with his girlfriend, and he's getting calls from parents saying hey, what's going on with the live stream? And dudes is like, what? He's just at home in bed trying to watch a movie. Yeah, he's like, what, the live stream? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? The live stream anyway.
So we got to figure that out right now. We got to figure out the scheduling aspect of it. There's a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, there's a lot happening.
So
got to stay busy.
Yeah. That's good, though. It's good to be busy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Hopefully there's nothing outside right now because it was pouring when I got here. Holy moly.
I know.
It was really coming down.
That's one thing we got to figure out. There's a little water problem down here.
Oh, no.
So, every time it rains here, I'm just like, I come down in the basement at 5 a.m. I'm like, make sure nothing's happening. Yeah. Where are you at right now? Where are you living?
I'm on Creighton Buddy Day area.
Where's that?
So I was living with my former roommate. His name was also Graeme, and his girlfriend. Yeah, so Graeme and Graeme. But then our place sold over COVID, so we had 2 months to get a new spot. So they moved in on their own, and then I got a one-bedroom Buddy Day Creighton. It's just up the road from Gottingen. It's 5 minutes from Global.
Okay, so you're right there.
I'm right there, and it's nice being so close to work. So I got a nice one bedroom there. So I've been kind of trying to furnish it real nice because we had all of our stuff mixed together before. So so I'm kind of in the process of doing that right now on top of all the work. So
are people in the office at Global? Because I remember last time you said
it's been more. So we had our one big kind of test was we had the New Brunswick election back mid-September. Yeah. So locally, we put the New Brunswick show on from Halifax. So, we needed as many resources in the station as we could. So that was our kind of test to see how many we can fit in and space people properly. Yeah. So we do have people in the office, but still primarily our online team's still all at home pretty much. So I've been in the office since it all started. I haven't left. So but yeah, the election, we kind of started to see what we can kind of get away with, and because we needed. On a night like that, everything's so many moving parts that you need to have as many people in the same setting as possible. So it went well. I think it went. The show looked pretty good, so we were happy with it.
Yeah, some people like the office culture. Some people like it from home. It's a mixed group of people out there.
Yeah, I'm completely on the office side. I could not be working from home. I don't know how people do. I don't know how some of my colleagues have done it for so long. Like, I just being isolated from it was just small talk banter. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. People love the water cooler talk.
Yeah,
no, just that good stuff.
All for that, yeah.
Especially in your business, I feel like the water cooler talk is how you get stories.
Yeah, and it helps you
hear about this.
Helps you do your job and see how other people are doing it. See how other people are telling it. See how their days are, and then you can also like learn your position from other people.
Definitely.
You learn like tips and tricks of, different. Like for example, a water cooler talk I had was prior to Teddy. I've never used the camera in a camera bag because the camera can't get wet. So they were giving me tips on like how to shoot at Peggy's Cove. With a camera bag, things like that.
Cool.
So you learn little like better ways to do your job through those conversations.
I feel like in any profession, water cooler talk is beneficial.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the actual work, it's kind of hard to get better if you're at home and you're learning over Zoom. It's those one-on-one conversations where you're like, oh, okay, this is how you do that.
Yeah.
Just a nice little chat going up to someone's desk, being like, hey, how do you do this? You used to be in my position. How did you figure this out?
And that's exactly what I've kind of done with this new position I've had here.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I don't know how people are working from home for that long. I think people liked it to start. I think people really enjoyed it in like March to May. This kind of, it's change of pace. But from people I've talked to, a lot of people in the banking industry, like the banks aren't bringing people back in. So they're
bank or bake?
Money,
like bank.
Yeah, banking.
Banking.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, sorry.
Yeah, they're the ones who are kind of struggling right now because they're not opening them at all and they're stuck at home. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know that there's banks around here that have signed like 5-year leases on buildings like recently, and they're just empty.
Yeah. So
that's brutal. But I guess they're banks, so they got money. They can somehow pay for them.
Yeah. So
I know people that are working from home and they have no office equipment. They don't have a desk or a chair, and they've just gone into their office and just took shit.
Yeah.
Like just took it home because they don't have anything.
It makes sense though.
Why wouldn't you?
It's what you got to do.
It's not like you're stealing it. You'll give it back. You're still working for the company, but
exactly. And the company provides it for you at work. They should provide it for you when you're at home. So
I know some companies that have given people like allowances to go out and buy, like go to Staples and buy things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean that's kind of what we've done. Similarly, I was telling you about before Teddy, they gave me money so I can go and buy all this rain gear and prepare that way. You just stuff that you need for the position. Yeah. So, yeah.
Don't talk about that too much. Mark's gonna be like, "Where's my money to go buy my stuff?"
Oh yeah,
we got a laptop, we got a table coming for you. We got all the good stuff coming. If you need rain gear, let me know.
I'm trying to start any waves here at High Button Sports. Sorry guys.
The budget's not that big
just
yet.
Like start some drama. All right, see you guys. Have a good day. Yeah.
No, but there's it's definitely an office culture change for sure.
Yeah,
definitely gonna be interesting. I like the working, like I'm doing it the kind of opposite way. Like I'm working from home, but I'm trying to turn it into an office.
But your office is home, so it completely makes sense for you.
My goal, I guess the 3-year goal is to get an actual office, but like my next year goal is to turn this whole basement into like push this wall back to the other wall so it's a bit bigger, get some more desks in here so we can have people just come over here and work.
Like I said, it's always something different. The TV was, or you're planning.
It used to be here. It was here yesterday. Yeah. I did this yesterday.
Okay, yeah. Always something changes, so it's always nice to see something different in here.
I want a couch down here.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
You gotta get a couch. That would make it. Have some friends over while the podcast is going.
Oh, I know, that's the thing. Get the little man cave. Well, that's the thing. It's like sometimes there'll be people that come over, and they'll bring a friend or they'll bring an agent or a manager, and they'll just I gotta find a seat for them.
How's that? How's doing the podcast with like a manager for a player just in the room?
Well, it doesn't happen that often, but like.
Because like it's serious for some of these young athletes.
But like we've had NHL guys in here that have come by themselves, but there's like not like managers, just like advisors, I guess. And I don't know, it's not bad. I don't care.
But also it's a good like opportunity for those young players to start to learn how to speak to media and it's a whole process for them.
I wouldn't really call our podcast like the platform to learn because it's not really an interview.
But it puts them in uncomfortable situations.
I guess so.
So that they have to kind of maintain an answer in a certain way. So
the one thing I think that keeps allowing us to get like high quality guests, like NHL players, you high quality guests, you of course.
No.
Is like we don't pepper them with questions like media guys. Like who Who do we have on the other day? We had Logan Shaw on the other day.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And like as soon as the podcast is over, he's like, man, just call me back anytime. Like just this isn't really an interview. We just talked. We just hung out. Same with the Bahamas guy the other day. Like, he's a 5-time Juno winner, and he said on the podcast, he's like, every time I do an interview, we talk about, you know, what's the process of writing a song, and like for 20 minutes during the podcast, we were talking about like peach salad. So he's like, I don't really care, man. I'll come back anytime.
Man, I gotta listen to that one. I gotta learn about peach salad.
Yeah, it's peach salad, man. It's a good salad. I didn't even know about it.
I love peach
but
salad.
I think that's kind of our charm, is just there's no pressure situation. Just you come over and talk about whatever.
Love it. I love it.
I think that's what people
I even
like.
asked you. I was like, hey man, what's on the dock for today? What's the what? And you're just like, I don't know.
I was gonna ask you if you had any advice about live streaming. That was on the docket. I was like, what do you know about cameras and live streaming?
Yeah, not a lot of live streaming. We do some live hits. Like I'm starting to do that now. That's kind of new for me, new territory.
Live. What is it? Live.
We do like a live, live for 6. So like,
live
on the show. So
that show is live. Hey, live at 5.
Everything's live at 6. Yeah, we the whole show's live. The first section's live actually. I'm kind of getting into the weeds of it, but yeah, like the first 12 minutes is live, and we pre-tape the latter parts of the show, like the weather.
Okay.
Because the meteorologist is out of Toronto. So, but yeah. So I had to do my one of my first like live hits on location for the night of Teddy.
Were you nervous?
It's a completely different.
It's the big leagues.
Oh, totally. I've done like lives in studio, but when you're like live on location, it's just you and a camera.
Oh, you don't even have a camera operator.
Well, I have a camera operator, yeah, but problem is like my IFB went down. You know, like
What's that?
the thing. So when everyone gets on news anchors for being really delayed, it's a thing that's in your ear.
Oh yeah.
So you're listening for them to cue you in.
Yeah.
Mine died right before my live. So I couldn't hear because my phone was. I was telling you about that phone before. That phone just died immediately, and I was like,
"So what'd you do?"
Okay, so I had my camera operator who just had to like cue me in, so I couldn't hear it. I was just waiting until he just gave me the go ahead. So like that made it a little worse, because you can't hear the show as it's going, and you can't hear like the anchor cueing you in.
Yeah.
So that was slightly terrifying. I made it through it, did it, but
that's a great learning experience.
It's nice being in studio where like the anchor's right there, and then they throw to you, and it doesn't have that delay that everyone makes fun of us for, where it's like 3 seconds where they're listening, and they're like, okay, and then they go. So when you're in the studio, you can just hear it.
There is always that delay.
Yeah.
Even like Hockey Night in Canada, when they go to someone in the rink.
For a high budget CBC broadcast like that, there's a delay. So you imagine, for a local news station, it's the same. So what we do is a lot of people find this stuff interesting.
I find
just
it
learning about it. You call into this number. So it's your IFB is what you're calling into.
Okay.
And there's an IFB number in Toronto through Chorus, through Global.
Okay.
You call that number in, it connects you to the show, and then you're just listening to it. You have it clipped onto the back of your shirt, and you're just listening to the show as it happens. Most times the live stuff is earlier in the show, so you don't have to like wait through it. You're right at 6 o'clock. So, and then you're just waiting for them to cue you in. The camera operator will still give you the go ahead, but so that's how you're listening for it. But that's what causes the delay, because you're calling in to listen to the show that's already being played out of Toronto, feeding back to Halifax. So it causes this like 2-3 second delay. That
you think they would have figured that out?
You think they would have figured
like 2020?
Yeah,
the delay.
Like, make the call in Halifax or something, or have someone in the studio queuing you in just on the phone. Right?
Is it always Toronto though? Like Hockey Night in Canada, would they do the same thing? Toronto, it's in Toronto.
It's all in Toronto. Yeah.
Why is it all in Toronto?
Well, our control room's based out of Toronto. Like our control room.
But even Sportsnet's based out of Toronto.
Yeah, it's all based out of Toronto. But like they're in Toronto, right? So.
But like sometimes, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why theirs would. I'm not kind of immersed in it in that way, but like I know for us, we're calling into a control room that's not even in our city. So we're calling into the control room, and then they're feeding it back to Halifax. So it's all like all of our cameras are all robotic in the station. We don't have any camera operators during the show. Our anchor is literally on her own. And then they have someone controlling the camera in Toronto with like a little stick, and they move the camera. It's very weird to watch it, because I always say to our anchor Sarah Ritchie that she's just talking to the voices in her head.
No way.
Because she just walks around, and she's never met her producers.
No
she's
way.
Been doing it for like
This is news to me.
Yeah.
Well, pre-COVID.
Global is unique to this. Yeah, totally. This is how we've always done since I started at Global. It's robotic cameras. And they like move in and out, and they move around. I mean, it's different at different stations. I know CBC and CTV have their own camera operators in studio, but for us, it's just it's very futuristic.
That's news to me.
Yeah, and like I said, she's never met her producers, so she talks to them all the time like they're friends, but never met them. And I hear them in the control room. We have like 2 people working in our control room compared to what you need, like 10 or 12 generally.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, pretty wild.
That is wild.
It's a really cool thing to watch when you're first. It's all green screen. She's sitting there, and it's just the desk.
I want to come in and see this. Can I?
I'm not during COVID, I don't think.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
not letting
COVID.
guests in, but like once this all ends.
Okay,
100%,
cool. That'd be really
100%.
cool.
Yeah, we previously would always have guests in just to watch it all go down because, you know, the live show on TV looks, you know, there's a lot of action, a lot of moving parts, but when you're watching it happen, it's just an anchor reading and then just reading the next intro and then the next intro. So it's
magic of TV or
TV
magic.
It's cool. It's cool to watch it all unfold, especially compared to other stations. So.
I could probably learn a couple things too.
Yeah, happy to have you in.
Absolutely.
We'll get you working with some of the cameras.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But just sit down. You guys got like a food room, like coffee?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
grab
free
a coffee.
We got free hot chocolate. There we go. We got a whole list of it. So.
I'm working on getting something in here for you. Well, you had Tim's.
I came prepared. Yeah. I slept in, so I kind of grabbed breakfast.
Did you?
And yeah, it was a day off. So
I slept in too. The rain gets me.
I know.
Rain gets me.
Yeah, I woke up a little early and then I just right back. So
I know. It's good that
late though.
It's good that you're working next to the office though.
It's great.
You know, you just stumble out of bed, you're right there.
Stumble out of bed, 5-minute walk down the road, and you're there. So.
Well, same with me too. I just come downstairs.
Yeah, your walk to work's a little shorter.
A little shorter.
Just right.
There's so many nice. Like where was I walking the other day? It was like across from Dee Dee's Ice Cream, right next to the Commons there.
Yeah, I live right down there.
Do you?
Yeah, that's like I'm like a block away from Dee Dee's.
There's this beautiful building right on the lower floor. They just renovated. It's a big open space with one big kind of back room, not big, but almost the size of this. And I don't know. I saw it from the window. I was just creeping, and I was just like, "This would be the best." The best studio.
You're just creeping.
I was just creeping hard. Well, they just renovated it. Like they put like brand new black windows.
The way you phrased it, I was just walking around creeping.
Oh shit. Oh my bad. I shouldn't have said it like that.
Sorry. It just hit me a little weird. I wasn't ready for that.
I was walking. Well, I was like
walking around creeping.
I went to Dee Dee's Ice Cream with my girlfriend. We got some ice cream, and then we were just walking around. And then I was just walking. There's a lot of office buildings, like kind of in that little area. And there's a lot of like signs that said like for lease, and I was just putting my head through, just looking at buildings, and I was like, man.
I can't phrase it when you say putting your head through.
What do I say?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, creeping doesn't sound good now.
Yes.
Yeah, but what he's asking is what? Well, I'm asking what should I say? Browsing.
Strolling. Yeah. Spectating.
I was spectating new office space.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw it.
Creeping Tom over here. Yeah. No, I was just spectating.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right.
But I was just looking at all these places like, oh, this would be sick.
Yeah.
Put a couch in there, just sleep on the couch.
That would be pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm right down the road from Dee Dee's, so it's just,
all right, it's a good little spot.
Good little spot too. Nice
good ice cream. Yeah. I like that neighborhood too, and it's right next to the Commons. I like really that.
Nice, yeah, like we're still playing softball too.
Are you?
Yeah, I still play softball Monday. I got softball later on tonight actually.
Well, if it stops raining.
Yeah, if it stops raining. Well, the problem is we have so many rainouts lately, so they're trying to squeeze the games in.
Oh yeah.
So we were initially playing at the Commons until it got too dark. Then we moved our games over to Bedford now, so playing at the Linehan Field. Just right off 101, I think it is.
I'm so bad geographically. I don't know.
Anyway, it's right off the highway. You can see it right there. We're playing double headers Monday, Tuesday, and now Thursday. So it's like 3 double headers a week, which is just a lot of softball.
I love those softball leagues. They're fun.
Oh my god, and it's only a fall league, so it only started the end of August because that was the only time we were allowed to play.
Oh yeah.
So we only started end of August, and now we're going till I think the last tournament's end of October.
Okay.
So we do like a weekend tournament, but they're trying to squeeze in all these rain out games. So I think we might be playing in the rain tonight. But anyway.
Nothing wrong with a little rain game.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Wet?
Yeah, nothing wrong with have a few drinks.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part about it is the drinks.
Time, yeah. And our team is likes to partake, to say the least.
Like best like Friday afternoon game. Yeah. I remember, they always be at the Commons Friday afternoon game. Someone would be in charge of bringing like the 12-pack or 2-4, whatever it was. Yeah. And then you don't mind when you're not at bat or not in the field because you're just sitting on the bench having a beer in the beautiful Commons, just watching.
Exactly.
It's just a great little thing in Halifax.
Yeah. Well, ours is like I said, Monday, Tuesday. So like it's Monday night and you're
Monday night
feeling a little pickled. And
yeah.
and you're like, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta get it together here.
I remember back when, man, it was like 3 years ago. I was a concierge at a hotel, and I'd have like a 30-minute break. And whenever you work, I guess, concierge as a hotel, you'd have obviously like a phone. And there'd be 2 concierge working at a time. But the thing about the games that we played, it was at the Commons, and the games were at like 5 o'clock. And remember how I was talking about those shifts, 7 a.m., 3 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
So my shifts would be like 3 p.m.
Okay.
So my baseball games are at 5 p.m., but I know the hotel I work at downtown is right up the street to the Commons. And usually these games are like, what, an hour? No more.
Yeah, they're about a little over an hour.
A little over an hour, nonetheless. So I'd go in my car, I'd take my concierge suit off, I'd go put my baseball gear on, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going for lunch. I might be a little bit longer. And on my lunch break, I would just go up and play some baseball. But I'd have my work phone on.
Love
and
that.
Sometimes I'd get a call on my work phone and be like, hey, because they didn't know I left they think I'm in the lunchroom.
You're still working.
I'm still working. But like sometimes I get a call, be like, "Hey, Justin, room 421 needs the TV removed. Can you go up and get it and put something in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be right on it. I'm just working on something else."
You're at second base. So
yeah.
just hit a double.
And then I just go back, hop in the car, and be like, "All right, boys." But I'd only stay for like a couple innings and head back. But at least I got a couple games.
The Commons just hits a little different. The Commons games are the best. Like Bedford's good, but like playing on a Sunday afternoon in the hot sun in the summer, it's
unreal.
That's the best time for softball.
Unreal.
Sure. This is like, it's honestly at a point when you're not. October baseball is supposed to be so ideal, but I don't know, it's getting a little chilly, so you're like, okay.
But I love the chill.
Yeah,
I love
it is
playing.
Good, yeah.
I don't mind.
Where it's not, because some of the games in July are just way too hot. Like last year, oh my God, it's like we don't even want to be here. It's like a heat wave, and you're playing softball at 2 PM.
I know.
Yeah, no.
I'm such an opposite side of the like field guy. It's like when it's summer, I wish it was winter. When it's winter, I wish it was summer.
I know. Yeah.
That's just how I feel. But October, it's a bit of both.
Totally.
So I love it.
What position do you play in softball generally?
I'm usually a first baseman.
First baseman. Okay.
First baseman. Yeah. I got the long arms, so I can reach.
You're digging stuff out.
Yeah, I got the long arms. Yeah. Not the best third baseman. I'm okay second baseman. But I just like first base. A lot of action there. I feel like I can grab the ball. What about you?
I'm outfield.
Outfield.
They always get me running back and forth. So
nice.
Generally center.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of responsibility.
Lots of action out there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, generally center and try to get it. I'm not a big long ball hitter, so I try to get the base hits here and there.
Small ball guy.
Yeah, try to like place it in the right spots. So
good.
Yeah. That's kind of the technique.
I hope the Jays do well next year. Well, how much time are we at right now, Mark?
We are on the OBS 55 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
This always flies by.
I know.
Every time. It's like, oh, geez, I didn't realize we were talking for that long.
Have I not asked the right questions? What am I supposed to be asking?
I think we touched on a lot of stuff. I think.
Is there anything I should be asking?
I think we.
Is there anything you want me to ask you?
No. I think we kind of. I don't know. There's nothing that stands out that I wanted to get a message across or anything.
You want to push anything? You got
a blog? No.
You got a blog? I don't know.
No, Global News at 6. That's where you can see
Global News at 6.
Seriously, Monday to Friday, most times. So.
Plug your Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram Benjamin. That's
and
the fun
Twitter.
one. Global Graeme. Yeah, I got. It's all Graeme branding fun.
It's all there. It's all the same.
Yeah, Global Graeme.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Thank you. It's always a blast. Always a pleasure.
I always love having you.
It's always nice seeing, like I said, the changes that come up around here. So
once we get some more change, we'll have you come back and we'll have you talk again.
100%.
Things change so quickly, so I'm sure you always got new stories coming every time.
By the next time, the news cycle is probably going to be completely changed, and we'll have tons more to talk about. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Graeme. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate it.
Everyone tuning in, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have fun. Stay safe. It's Monday. Get after it. Work hard. And I think that's it. Should I be plugging any? I'm trying to think if I have anything to advertise, anything to say. Do we?
Don't think so. I mean, you were wearing a Manscaped shirt earlier. I don't know if you had one playing.
Yeah, they're not paying for this episode, so I covered it up. Shout out to Manscaped, though. No, I think that's it. All right, we're out. Peace, guys. Thank you.